Man, I look awful, but that's intended. So today's video, I want to talk to you about my recent struggles with a lot of anxiety and stress. This is something that I put a poll up on the channel, on the community tab here, probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, asking everybody if it would be okay if I start to open up more about mental health, especially being a creative individual. And the channel's not going to take a full focus on mental health, but I think it's something that's very important to bring up. Because if you are a creative individual and you plan on trying to do creative things like make stuff on YouTube or be an artist or a photographer or a painter, start your own small business, whatever it is that I have helped you with along the way, or whatever it is that you're planning to do. Maybe you're seeing me for the first time ever. I feel like us having a discussion about the struggles of anxiety and stress and depression and just overall mental health are an important thing to talk about. And about 85% of you actually had said, yes, go for it, love the idea. So we're going to run with it today and see how things go. But I also think it's very important to communicate with you what's been going on in my life. So I guess my struggles really started around October. And I've been struggling with anxiety and stuff my entire life, but what's happening now probably started around October, September maybe, at the end of that, whatever, irregardless. And it's been steadily building over the months. And I've known in the back of my mind that these things were steadily building up. But what I tried to do was to convince myself that things are going to be okay, things will get better, your mindset's going to change. Just keep working forward, think positive, and work towards the better future that it is that you're wanting. And so that's what I did. But what I found is things are not getting better. If anything, they're getting much worse. It's so bad to the point now that I don't sleep. My eating habits are terrible. I might eat twice a day, if that, maybe some snacks here and there. And my energy levels are so depleted. I feel like I'm running at 65% capacity of what I'm actually capable of on my best days. Maybe 40% on the worst days. Right now, making this video, I am so tired. I'm having to fight to hold my eyes open. But I know that I can't go take a nap and try to get some rest because I am so stressed out about so many things and there's so much going on right now up here that I can't even get rest, which brings in so many other things. Like for an example, a lot of times I love watching movies or TV shows with my wife in the evenings as we eat dinner that typically I've cooked because she gets in later than I do. And I love those moments. I cherish them. And I still do. Even right now I'm struggling. But the other night we were watching some comedies and we've been watching lots of Christmas movies and stuff. And I didn't feel like I was here. Like my body was sitting here on this couch with my wife and our dog Lily, and we was watching Elf and we were eating food and snacks, and it was a great time. Like I felt like it was, but I felt like there's a disconnect between my mind and my body. My body was here present on the couch and my mind was somewhere else. I don't know where it was. And that's not to say that's how I usually experience these things. I'm used to my mind kind of being scatterbrained, and I'll be watching the movie, talking to her, playing on my phone, playing with the dog, various things. I'm scatterbrained, but my mind is still here and present. My mind was nowhere to be found. And that's how I felt a lot here recently. And I think there's a bunch of things. Not all the things am I ready to talk about just yet for various reasons, but it's leading me to do a lot of things that I'm unhappy with. Like waking up in the middle of the night having nightmares about the very things that are causing me stress and anxiety and this depression. And because I'm waking up, I'm not getting a full good night's sleep, and then I'm experiencing the fatigue during the day. And it's really hard because there's a lot of people out there that don't understand mental health. They don't understand anxiety or depression. And there's a huge stigma around it. A lot of people that don't experience it or don't experience it to the levels like myself and many others do, is that it's just one of those things you can just deal with it. Just get on with it. Just go out and do something you love to do. Go exercise, go do yoga, whatever. I do all those things. I walk my dog multiple times a day. I get time outside. I'm doing yoga pretty regularly with my wife. I do things I love to do, like play video games and cook and watch movies and TV and continue producing things here online. But they're not fixing the problem. They do bring me a period of time where maybe I can forget about the things that are bothering me, and maybe I can calm down for a minute, and maybe I can get a little rest, relaxation, and entertainment. But as soon as those tasks are over, it's right back to it. Like, it's so bad, I feel like my head is in a vice grip and somebody's just squeezing it tighter and tighter and tighter to the point that it feels like my head is literally gonna pop. So these are some of the things that creative individuals have to think about, and not just creatives. I understand that anybody can experience these things. But I think we need more people to talk about this and make this more of a cultural norm and understanding that this stuff is very real. See, the stigmas around it, there's been jobs I've had in the past, and still to this day, I will never take an open mental health day. If I'm off a day for my mental health, I'm sick. If I'm asked why or what's wrong, why I'm sick, I'm gonna lie. I feel like I might be coming down with the flu, or I have a cold, or I have a migraine, something to that extent, because those things people understand. But people don't seem to really understand or comprehend mental health issues very well. In fact, a lot of people just simply make fun of it. And I've been told by others to not talk about my mental health publicly and put it out there because of the stigma that might get placed on me. And I can tell you right now that if somebody stigmatizes me and stereotypes me because I'm open about my mental health issues, I think that says more about their personality than it does my own. And I'm not talking about anybody specifically here. I mean, this is the internet after all. There's going to be people who are probably going to see this video and they're going to tell me to get over it. You know, just be happy, do this or do that. Those things don't work. And if you're still watching, you understand that wholeheartedly. Just like today, I haven't showered, I haven't put on deodorant, I stink, I look disgusting, I'm oily and gross, my hair needs to be washed. But I'm also at home today. I'm in a safe, comfortable place. I don't have to look or smell good for anybody, except probably my wife. But she won't be home for about 5 more hours, so I think I got time to clean up. But I just want you to know that there are going to be times in your life you're going to experience hardships. You may not have the same levels of stress like I have. You know, I have 20 to 30 years of childhood, teenage, and 20-year-old trauma that built up and all crashed and burned on me back in 2019, and I'm still kind of fluctuating out. I'm still finding myself. I'm still learning how to cope and to deal with these things on a day-to-day basis. But I'm getting there, and you may not have that experience. You might just have the day-to-day stresses or the general feelings of being unwell, and then you can bounce right back and get into it, but I can't. When I get into these slopes, these things last for weeks, if not months. So I think it is important to talk about it. I think it is important for me to be open and public so I can relate to those of you who have these similar experiences, to know that you're not alone and we can all get through it. So we've got to change things. Mental health costs are unreal, especially if you're on medication. That's something that I personally choose not to do. Tried it, it was not for me. So I think just general counseling and coping mechanisms work best. But counseling, I was looking for a new counselor the other day. $120 a visit with insurance. And I've tried other counselors on my insurance that are much cheaper, such as $0 a visit or $20 a visit. And those turned out to be clinical students who are not yet full counselors. So they don't have the level of knowledge and ability to relate to me and communicate what needs to be done. They're still learning themselves. And that's nothing against them, but I feel like I'm very complex. A lot of people are. Maybe there's some people with milder cases of anxiety and depression that would benefit from them, but I didn't find that benefit. And that was the affordable option through my insurance, who barely covers anything. And you know as well as I do, if a visit's going to cost $100, you're looking at least one a week right now for me. $400 a month for therapy. On the low end, I could go through something like BetterHelp and pay $320 a month and hope that I get my old counselor back through there. But who has $320 extra a month to spend on their mental health? I understand it's needed, but I just don't really have that in my budget when there's a lot of other things to take care of. Saving up for a home, emergencies, paying bills. The holidays are here, so many things are happening, and throwing out that extra money is just really not an option for me. So I feel like if enough of us stand up and speak about this together, we can ultimately make a change. I don't think it's going to be a year down the road, a couple of years down the road. I think it's a long road ahead, but I think it's a place that we need to start pursuing of how do we get there? How do we get to that point? So I do thank you so much if you're watching, and if you are, I can only assume that you're probably struggling with something now, or you have in the past, or you're worried that you're going to in the days ahead. And if any of those things are true, I just want you to know that you can get through it, and there's plenty of people out there who will be there by your side and support you or talk to you or whatever you need. And I'm one of those people. That's one of the things I don't feel fulfilled or satisfied in my life, is the current things that I'm doing in life. I'm not getting fulfillment out of any of it. And I think this is a good start for me to do that. But I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope if you did relate to this message, maybe it made you feel a little more hopeful or better about your future. Be sure to take care of yourself.